What's up, boo cakes? This is April Watts, and I have to tell you about an experience. My car was almost stolen from me. No, I wasn't at a gas station pumping gas and someone just rolled up, hopped in my car and rolled off with my ride. Nobody rolled up on me at a light, stuck a gun to my head and held me up and carjacked me. But a sleazy dealership tried to steal my car. And it almost worked. This has been a crazy 2-week ordeal that has cost me time. It has cost me money. I've been renting a car for 2 weeks. Plus paying my car note. So that's a whole lot of money. I'm fortunately in my driveway and I start my car up and all of this white smoke comes from the exhaust pipe. I freaked out because I never had a problem with my car. And as a person who spends the majority of my time in my car, I really need it. So I didn't want to risk driving on it. I had the car towed to the dealership to have them look at it. I called them, let them know that the car was there, who I was, what the car looked like, and so forth. They said that they would check it out and that they would call me back. 3 days, 1, 2, 3. 3 days went by and no one called me. So I called after my car to see what the status was, and I was told by the service department that they could not find anything wrong with my car. They were at a blank. They didn't know what to do. So I said, my car has 67,000 miles on it. Isn't there some sort of service, a tune-up or something that I need to get once I get past a certain mileage? And the person told me about a 64,000 mile service where they change your spark plugs and do a couple other things. So I said, okay, go ahead and do that. When they took the spark plug off, they found oil underneath the spark plug. They called me back and said that this indicates an engine problem. So now I'm really like, oh my goodness, an engine? That's like a new car. So I said, well, maybe I should just come in and talk to you guys about possibly trading it in, but I need to know exactly what the value of my car is, what the problem is. And they said, okay. I went in after work to talk to them. They still did not know the value of my car because nobody went into the engine because they said that I didn't sanction them to go into the engine. So I said, okay, you can go into the engine because I need to know what the value of the car is before I trade it in. I didn't think that I could find another car that I loved more than the one that I currently have, but I found it and I fell in love with it. And I said, okay, I love this car. I want this car. So please have someone go into my engine. I'm giving you guys the green light to break down my engine and find out what the problem is. And maybe my engine didn't even need to be broken down, but that's what they told me. The next day, the sales guy calls me up and he tells me, Miss Watts, we are ready to make this deal. How soon can you get in? He calls me at work, okay? First of all, red flag number 2, because the first red flag was when the general manager told me just to peruse the parking lot without getting someone to help me or without helping me himself. That was red flag number 1. Red flag number 2, how soon can you get in? We can work this deal today. Dude, this is a major purchase. Why is there some sense of urgency? The car is not going to roll off of the lot. It's a car. It's manufactured. So if someone else buys the car, I'll get another just like it. How soon can you get in? I said, well, do you know the value of my car? Yes, we are ready to make you an offer. I said, oh, so they broke down the engine? I can't tell you verbatim what the guy said to me, but the wording that he used, because I do understand the English language very well, led me to believe that either they had already broken down the engine or that by the time that I got there, that the engine would have been broken down and that they would know what the value of the car is. I get in my car. I bolt to Tyson's Corner, Virginia from Baltimore, fighting traffic, doing all that, spending gas, wasting time. I get there, and this articulate, well-dressed, well-mannered man sits down and drops his head, breathes like sighs, and says to me, it's bad. You need another engine. I looked at him. I said, no, I don't. And he didn't know what to do with my emphatic, no, I don't. He said, no, the service guy said that you need another engine. I said, and I am telling you, no, I do not. And I said, did he break down the engine? He goes, yes, he looked at it. I said, no. Answer my question. I said, I directly asked you, did he break down the engine? Not if he looked at it. No, he didn't break down the engine, was his response. He goes, but he looked at it and he said, you need a new engine. And I said, why did you waste my time? Why did I come all the way up here from Baltimore? You told me you were ready to work this deal. He said, I am. We are willing to offer you $3,000 for your car because you need a new engine. I said, I was told, I said, first of all, I'm not calling you a liar, sir, but somebody is lying. I said, when I first dropped the car off, you told me that there was nothing wrong with the car. I was the one who told you that there was something wrong with the car. You then found something wrong with the car and told me to appraise my car that you needed to break down the engine. No one has broken down the engine, and now you're offering me $3,000 for my car? Are you crazy? The sales guy at this point doesn't know what to do with me, so he goes and he gets the general manager. The general manager comes back. He remembers me from the first Fiat that I bought with them. So I would think that purchasing the first car with you and coming back for the second would give me like a little bit more respect, a little bit more honesty, that you would deal with me just a little bit differently because you realize that I'm a Fiat customer, so you would give me better customer service. No. He sits down, and maybe it's an arrogance of the stereotype that women don't know anything about cars and that women are gullible. No, I don't know anything about cars, but I'm not a dummy, and I know BS when I smell it and hear it and see it. The general manager sat down and he tells me, ma'am, we can only offer you $3,000 for your car because you may need a new engine. I said, no, sir. I know the Kelley Blue Book value of my car, and I know that I do not need a new engine. Why didn't somebody break this engine down? And I was like, I'm willing to take this much for my car. He tells me, we can't take that risk because we don't know what's wrong with the engine. I said, oh, but you just told me that I need a new engine. So do you not know what's wrong with the engine, or do I need a new engine? Because right now you're talking in circles and you're telling me different things. And my common sense, my hood sense, my sixth sense, all sort of senses kick in. And it was like, April, do not let them touch your car. They've already lied to you multiple times. Why would they tell you anything that is honest in relation to your car when they're trying to make a trade with you? So they're trying to basically rip you off for your car. I said, you know what? Do not touch my car. I am frustrated. I am angry. I feel disrespected. I have received poor customer service and I have been lied to. I no longer trust your dealership to do anything with my car. I said, so you are losing the service job, you are losing the sale, and you are losing all future sales because I am a Fiat person. And here's what adds the insult to the injury. When I went in and I was dealing with the salesperson, I told him what type of customer that I am. I'm a serious customer. When I decide to make a purchase, I am going to make a purchase. But I need you to be patient with me. I need you to listen to me. And I need you to be honest with me. I said, please do not tell me a lie. He didn't listen to any of that. So I took my car to an auto shop just off of telling the mechanic my story. When I told him that the dealership offered me $3,000 for my car, he started to laugh. He said, just off of the story of what you just told me, there's one of two things going on. Either you need a new PVC valve. Either you need a new PVC valve, or Jiffy Lube put the wrong oil in your car and your car is burning oil. I get a call. There was a loose valve. No, there was a loose screw. Let me get it together because I'm not a car person. There was a loose screw in one of the valves in the engine. The screw just needed to be tightened. They also screwed back the plastic panel that covers the undercarriage of your car because the trifling dealership didn't screw that all the way in. They fixed one of my, I think it's called a runner light. They fixed my runner light. It's the little light that's underneath your headlight. They replaced that. They reset the console so I didn't have any lights on. And they did something else for me. They changed my oil and put an additive in it that would clean my engine out. $250. Oh, not every dealership is terrible. Not every dealership is sleazy. Not every dealership is just trying to steal your car like the dealership was trying to do with mine. But I would say, just for a good business practice, especially if you're thinking about making a trade-in and you have a problem with your current car, you think you may have a problem with your current car, take it to an independent auto shop. I am heated. I am frustrated. I am disgusted by that whole ordeal. And I just want to say something to car salesmen, to car dealerships. This is 2015. This is a new era. Women are educated. Women are not meek. Women are able to research and negotiate. Deal with us accordingly. Respect women when we come into dealerships. Don't just assume because we're not a man or we don't have a man with us that you can just send us to the cleaners. Because it didn't happen with this woman, and hopefully because of this video it won't happen with a lot of other women. And men, be careful too. Be careful too, because the goal of the dealership is to get as much out of you as possible. All right, I love you, boo cakes. Thank you, and I'm sorry for ranting, but I had to get that out. And hopefully something that I've said, hopefully my experience helps someone else. Please do not act hastily when you buy a car. Love you. Mwah.